Hi, I am Sarah Duck. I am an intuitive spiritual coach, and I'm here today to talk about habits. This video was inspired by a friend of mine who's a coach. She goes under the unstoppable woman, and she mentioned it briefly in a video, and it made me think about doing this because back in 2017, I heard about this 21 or 28 days to form a habit. I couldn't get a consistent answer whether it was 21 or 28. But either way, I tried it for 28 days. It takes 28 days to form a habit, right? So they say. But I tried it. Now, kind of, it did kind of work, but not completely. Now let me explain. I did it for 21 days. I consistently did the same thing for 21 days, for forming a new habit for 28 days solid. In fact, I've done it twice. The first time was in 2017, then it was later, I can't remember when. I did it with regard to waking up early and getting up at 7 a.m. every single day. Now, for me, during that 28 days, I found it did get easier after the initial, it feels good, and then it sort of got hard, and my brain was like saying, no, stop this now, we don't need to do this. This is no good for you. Why do you keep trying to change it? And then after going over that hump, it was like it got easier and easier and then at the end of the 28 days, and I was like, now is it a habit, or is it just easier to do? And to me, it wasn't a habit. It didn't become a habit. It was just easier. I feel like it's going to take longer to make it a habit, to make it so it's something that happens every day without fail, without you really thinking about it. Like, we never used to have mobile phones when I was a child. When I was a teenager, I didn't have a mobile phone. So, some point from getting my first mobile phone when I was at college, which didn't have the internet access or anything like that anyway. So there's first smartphones that come out, and we've started having smartphones with the internet on it and all that. Sometime between getting that and now, I formed a habit of picking up my mobile phone and looking at it in the morning like it was the morning paper. Not that I ever looked at the morning paper anyway, but that's not the point. Sometime between then and now, I picked up the phone in the mornings, and I created a habit of picking up my phone in the morning, looking at it before I even stepped out of bed. And again at the end of the night, when I got in bed, I pick up my phone, look at my phone, see my phone. I know it's my hand, not my phone, but you get the picture. Pick up my phone and look at me phone in bed before I go to sleep. Now, that is a habit, because I do it without thinking. I'll pick up my phone off the side when the alarm goes off, turn the alarm off, open Facebook. Now, yes, that's a habit, but after 28 days of me getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning, the only thing I wanted was a bloody lion, I didn't want, and I didn't automatically wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning the next morning. Just like journaling and stuff that I was working on, creating a habit of journaling, of mindset work before I went to bed, and in the morning, like personal development, stuff like that. That's what I was working on, creating a habit over. Now, at the end of the 28 days, I still continued doing it for a while, but it wasn't something that was a habit. It was just something that I had to still keep reminding myself I had to do. It's like, oh yeah, this morning I've got to do this, and in the evening, yeah, I've got to do this before I go to bed. It was easier to then pick up the book and the journal and the notebook and scribble and write on whatever I needed to do, but it wasn't a habit. I feel like it needs longer. It might make it easier after 28 days, but your brain needs longer for it to sink into your subconscious. It's only when it's in your subconscious that it becomes a habit. Like when you first learn to drive, you get in the car and you've got to think about looking in the mirrors, making sure they're all right, making sure everything's perfect, making sure you've got your seatbelt on. You drive down the road and you've got to remember to look in the mirrors as you're driving to make sure, check the cars behind you, check there's nothing going on around you that you need. And you've got to keep reminding yourself to do these things, but eventually you can get to a point where you will drive down the road and you can get to your destination and sometimes not even remember the journey that got you there. Now, you didn't run a red light along the way. You didn't crash into anything along the way. But somehow you've got there, because it became a habit, because the act of driving became a habit. So the stuff that you need to do to drive to make sure you're safe and don't crash into a tree sinks into your subconscious, so your subconscious kicks in and you just drive. So you can talk to the person sitting in, passenger seat or shotgun or whatever you want to call it. You can talk to that person, but you don't think about it. You just talk to them, you carry on, you drive, and you get to your destination without crashing, without even thinking that, oh, you've got to check in the mirrors. You just do it, It's just one of them things that you just do. And it's the same with the habits. When you're trying to form a habit, you want to get to that place where it becomes a habit of doing it every day, where you just do it automatically, like picking up your mobile phone in the morning like it's in the morning newspaper, like driving to the destination that you want to do, or whatever habit you form, I had a habit at one point of standing on the scales every single morning to check my weight. I ditched that habit. It wasn't something that just happened after 28 days. It was just a habit of not standing on the scales in the morning. It took a good solid 3 months for me to not stand on them scales, to not think about, I want to stand on them scales. By the end of that, the 3 months of not standing on the scales, it was like you just carry on, and like 3 months down the line, and you're like, oh, I haven't even thought about standing on the scales for ages. What happened there, Because it's just become a habit to not stand on the scale, to not check my weight. Because there's no point in checking my weight. It doesn't define me. It doesn't define who I am. My weight, the number on them scales has no... in no way does it affect who I am and the kind of person I do. It doesn't affect me doing these videos. It doesn't affect anything in my life at all. It's just a number on the scales. But that became a habit too. So if you're looking for a way to create a habit, don't expect it to just take 28 days or 21 days. Give it a good solid 3 to 6 months and see what happens then. Don't just expect something to be a habit after 21 or 28 days. It does take longer for it to sink into the subconscious. For me at least, you know. And for my friend as well, Heidi, the unstoppable woman, for her it took 3 months. It just takes that bit longer, you know. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you like the looks of my video, and there'll be more videos like this and more pick a card readings coming up on this channel very soon, and possibly some Reiki videos as well. Thank you for watching. Bye.